2 pages, which can be accessed through class. All right, here we go. Real quickly, this one's a quick one. I want to make sure we can visualize what's about to happen at the end of this construction. We're going to construct ray AX, but it's got to be a bisector, which means what? It's going to do what to angle BAC? Cut it into 2 congruent, right? So I'll just draw it real quick here. Don't draw yours because that we need to construct it. Should look something like that at the end. That's what I should have. Okay, first step, take your compass, everybody. Take your compass, put it on vertex A. Please put it on vertex A. And what you want to do is you want to make an arc through both rays, please. Make an arc through both of the rays. So you should have an arc right now that intersects both rays on angle A or BAC. Mark those 2 points of intersection with points. Because your next 2 steps, you're going to put your compass on both points on the next 2 steps. All right, so make sure you know where they intersect by marking them with points. Next 2 steps are going to come from each of those points. Bless you. Put your compass point on one of the points of intersection. And what you want to do is make an arc above the first one. If it happens to intersect, that's fine, but it does not need to. And it doesn't need to be a big arc either. So all I did is I went to one of those points of intersection and I made an arc above the first one. And I told you we needed 2 points because that's where we're going to put our compass. So wherever you have not put your compass yet, put it on the other point. And the last 2 arcs should intersect each other. Okay, these last 2 arcs, not the first one we made, but the last 2 should intersect each other. Little fireworks. So once you make the first arc, go to each point of intersection and make 2 more that intersect each other. And if you're at this point right now, grab your straight edge, line it up with vertex A, and draw in. Make sure you pay attention to the directions. What am I drawing here? A ray. Yes, so it should have an arrow at the end. Wrong direction. And you have just made yourself an angle bisector, bisecting angle BAC. Yes?
We just do what I did. Like this. Or this.
Yeah, that's fine. You're just having that third one as kind of like a check. That goes through. Real quickly, I know, because I've been doing this forever, that that's an angle bisector construction. But if somebody just walked in the room, how can you show them it's an angle bisector? By putting arc marks on the 2 angles that are congruent. I talked on Monday. Please offset them so it doesn't look like one full arc mark. Please offset them.
You need to put a point X on the ray, right?
And yep, thank you. Keeping me honest here. I did need to call this ray AX, so I better have an X on there. Thank you. One job. Be an honors level teacher. All right, one doesn't make you great. I'm certain most of you didn't pick it up yet, so we have plenty of white space to do it again here. Draw, sketch your own angle. Draw, sketch your own angle. We don't have time to use the compass to draw it. Okay, draw, sketch your own angle, and I will be around to watch you guys bisect it. Okay, I will be 3 arcs. That's all it takes. 3 arcs. First arcs to get your 2 points of intersection, and then your next 2 arcs come from those points. Got to make that first arc to get those points, though. You can't just randomly put 2 points on there. So I'm going to do it from here. Anybody need any assistance? I'm hoping, I know it's not true for some of you, but I'm hoping that you're becoming more comfortable with that compass of yours, figuring out where to hold it. So this is an angle bisector. Your fourth construction you've learned already. Fourth. Okay, anything we gotta talk about? Because I want to move on here, day 7. Okay, when you're all set, put your compass straight edge off to the side. We're done for them. We're done with them for today. Tomorrow, though, all the notes are dedicated to more construction, so make sure we got them tomorrow. But we're done with them for today. We are done. And I'm moving on to day 7. All right, today, relationships between angles. Some of these terms you definitely have heard before. All right, I'm just going to take them to the honors level. Some of these terms. First one here, we got adjacent angles. Adjacent angles. Anybody, when you hear the word adjacent, anybody ever, what word or term comes to mind? Something always comes to my mind where it's like, hey, they live adjacent to me. Gordon, what do you have?
Next to.
Next, that's what I always say, next to. But with angles, it's a little bit tougher than just 2 angles that are literally right next to each other. They have to follow 3 rules to be adjacent. 3 rules. Ready for the first rule? They have to share the same vertex. We know what the vertex of an angle is, right? So they have to share the same vertex, a common vertex, and it's in the definition. Number 2, they have to share a side, a ray. So they have to share a vertex, they have to share a ray. That's your job. Figure out if that's true. Third thing, and I'm going to help you with, they cannot have any common interior points. And I will describe what that means in a second. So what I've done is I've drawn 3 different diagrams up there, A, B, and C, and I want to know are angles X and Y adjacent to each other. So let's look at diagram A. Are X and Y adjacent? Because it's not good enough just to say yes because they're next to each other. Ready? Let's go through the 3 rules. Do they have the same vertex?
Yes.
Absolutely. Do they share a side?
Yes.
Yep, the one, I don't want to say it's in the middle, but between them. Now, here's what I mean by do they share interior points or not? Everyone, go ahead with angle X and put a point inside angle X for me. Anywhere. Inside angle X, put a point. Is your point also in angle Y? No, it's not. In fact, could you put a point anywhere in X that will at the same time be in Y? That's what it means by they have no points, interior points in common. You can put a point in one and it will never show up in the other, ever. So these 2 are adjacent angles. Yes, these 2 are adjacent. All right, let's go to diagram B. Are X and Y adjacent? Well, they're next to each other. Not good enough. Do they share the same vertex?
No.
Stop talking then. Right? We're done. I don't need to check the others. I don't care. Once you tell me one of them's not there, okay, great. It's got to have all 3. And before we answer this question for C, I just want to make sure we're clear on what angle X and Y are. Everybody, angle Y is this angle right there. That's angle Y. All right, and angle X, I'm referring to the whole thing there, or trying to refer to the whole thing. All right, let's go through our rules. Do they share a vertex? Yes, they do. Do they share a common side? Ooh, yes, they do. Right here, right here. That's the side in angle X and Y. Now, ready for the interior points, and hopefully I drive this home so you guys understand it. I put a point inside y right there. Is it also in x?
Yes.
Not good enough then. It's not adjacent. Because they share interior points, they are not adjacent to each other. Alrighty? Alright, not adjacent. See the difference now? It's a little bit more, it's a little tougher than just saying, no, they're next to each other. They gotta follow some rules. Adjacent, all good? Hey, moving on. Two angles that are complementary. We've heard of that term before? You just got to remember the magic number, right? What's the magic number? 90 degrees. Now, I want to be, woohoo, I am going to bring it up to an honors level here. Notice what I put in the definition. 2. That's it. Well, what if I have 3 angles that add up to 90? You know what you call 3 angles that add up to 90? 3 angles that add up to 90. That word complementary is specifically for 2 and 2 only. All good? Now, don't draw this. Back in the middle school, early middle school days, maybe even at 5th grade, maybe, you know, your teacher, all right, kids, complementary angles. I'm going to tell you that's 50 and that's 40 degrees. Those are complementary because they add to 90. No more. I'm not doing that. You want your honors level diagram to write down for me? Here's what I'm going to do for complementary angles. I'm not even going to tell you the degree measures. I don't need to. I don't even know what angles 1 and 2 are, but I know they're complementary. How do I know they add to 90? That tells me it's a right angle. So don't expect degree measures from me. All right, you're going to see something like this that the box tells me, oh, they add up to 90. And let's keep raising our game now. Not only are those 2 angles complementary, they're also what? Come on. There we go, adjacent. Now we're starting to talk to each other. All right, now we're starting to use our language. Questions on complementary. All right, don't get it mixed up with the next one. Supplementary, which the magic number now is $1.80. Don't get those mixed up on me. And again, only 2. 2, that's it. Can't be 3. 2. Now again, quick trip back to 5th grade. Oh, okay, kids. This angle's a 150. And that angle's 30. Hey, we have 2 supplementary angles. Not in this class. All right, here's what I'm going to give you. And maybe you guys can tell me why I know they're supplementary. Let's see. There we go. Angle 3 and 4 are supplementary. I don't even know the angle measure. You don't need to know the angle measure. You don't need it. Let's just build on something I've shown you already. 3 and 4 put together form a what? Straight line, straight angle, or a line. What do we know about them? They measure exactly?
180.
Done. I don't need to give it to you. Bonus, 3 and 4 are also adjacent to each other. Okay, they're adjacent. So do not expect actual angle measures to determine if an angle is supplementary or complementary. Questions? So you probably heard of those. Let me introduce you to a couple you probably have not heard of. Linear pairs. Linear with the word line in it. Pairs, 2. So 2 angles that form a straight line. And they have to be adjacent. So we're putting everything together now. 2 angles that are adjacent and form a straight angle. Look at diagram A. What are our thoughts there? Angles 1 and 2 only. Do we think they're a linear pair? No, they are adjacent, aren't they? But do they form a straight line? Or I got to stop. All lines are straight. Do they form a line? No. All right. So these 2 are not linear pairs. All right, how about diagram B? Would I consider angles 1 and 2 linear pairs? Yes, those are adjacent and they form a line. And how about C?
No.
That's just a hot mess, number 1. Number 2, they're not even adjacent. Right? Everyone agree? Because they don't share a vertex. So they're not adjacent. There's no shot they can be linear pairs. Big moment in your geometry careers. I introduced to you this year one of many, many theorems. theorems. I know probably the only one you guys know is what, Pythagorean, right? Theorem. It's a fact. That's simple. It's a fact. It's going to be a fact about geometry I give you, and there's going to be a slew of them this year. All right, this is your first one, so congratulations. It's a big moment. It's about linear pairs, this fact, this theorem. It's about linear pairs. Maybe you guys can finish it for me. Linear pairs are, and then I'm going to leave a blank. And I'm not looking for the word adjacent.
Equal.
I want some, are they always equal? I don't know. Linear pairs are, and then I'm going to leave a blank there. I want something else other than adjacent. Look, that would, equal to 180. We use some vocab in here. Supplementary, yes. All right, so anytime I have linear pairs, I know they are supplementary. All right, supplementary. All linear pairs are supplementary. Love it. All right, let's keep moving on. Everyone around with linear pairs. I've got a new set of angles now. You guys heard of verticals or no? Verts or no? No, some yes. All right, I'll make this easy on you. Vertical angles. Vertical angles, number one, are only formed if two lines intersect each other. That's the only time they're formed. Two lines intersect each other. And when I have two lines intersect each other, everyone, how many angles are formed now? Four. Yes, indeed. 1, 2, 3, 4. The opposite ones are the vertical ones. Okay, the opposite ones are the vertical ones. So 1 and 3 and 2 and 4 are vertical. Because here's why too. Think about this. I already got a name for 1 and 4. What do we call 1 and 4? Oh, more. Linear pairs. I already got a name for 2 and 3. Linear pairs. The only thing I really don't have a name for are 1 and 3 and 2 and 4, but now I do. They're called vertical angles. Okay, they're called vertical angles. All good? All right, so let's see if we can identify any vertical angles. What do we think about A? Are 1 and 2 vertical? No, finish it, but they are. Because they are linear pairs, yes. So these are not vertical. They're linear pairs. How about B? Vertical?
No.
Oh, some people are struggling here. You see they're kind of opposite each other, but it has to be formed by two lines intersecting. Lines, those are, I don't know what those are. And how about C? Yes, those are vertical. Oh, another look. They're going to come quick, these theorems. This one's about vertical angles. We know if I know two angles are linear pairs, I know they're always going to be supplementary. Well, if I know two angles are vertical angles, and can we also just take a quick moment to stop and talk about having self-respect and not being an embarrassment to the math community? Spelling. I've done this a while. That's not going to get annoying. All right, thank you. Vertical. It ends in C-A-L, kids, not C-L-E, like the word barnacle. Okay? Now, will I ever take off if you spell it wrong? Absolutely not. But I will write a note to you about how maybe you want to reevaluate your life because you can't spell the word vertical. Okay? C-A-L, not L-E. All good? All right, we can proceed now. Vertical angles are, and then I'm going to put a blank there because you're going to find out with me right now what I should put there. Here's what I need from somebody. Nice, easy task. Give me an angle measure less than 180. Please don't give me 90. Give me an angle measure less than 180 right now. Please, can you make my life easy and give me like it within 10s or 5s, please? Well, relax. I only want to hear from one person. Oh, big job right up front there, Connor. Here we go.
25.
Okay, this kid. 25. I think I can handle that. 25. Angle 1. What's got to be angle 4 then based on everything we've talked about so far? I need my calculator.
155.
155.
55.
55. Yep. Why? Because they are what?
Supplementary.
Supplementary, they're linear pairs. Stay with me. 155, what's got to be angle 3? 25. Maybe we're starting to figure out about verts. And then what do you think about angle 2? Okay, so does anybody want to finish?
Are congruent.
Oh, thank you. Yes, I'm glad. Usually I get they're equal and I snap because we have a better term than equal, right? We have they are. And you guys can start using symbols now. You don't have to write the word congruent. We got symbols. Let's use them. Vertical angles are congruent. He said congruent.
Yeah, I said exactly.
What's the code?
All right, anyway, moving on. Nobody cares. Last term before we start working. Perpendicular. Heard of that term before? Perpendicular. 2 lines that form a right angle. Okay, 2 lines. And it doesn't have to be lines, but in this case, we'll make 2 lines that form a right angle. So let's call one line AB, the other CD. I don't know anything about those lines, by the way. Remember, we never go, oh, they look like they form a right angle. No, that's never a response. What do I need to add to my diagram? So now, in fact, they'll be perpendicular. The box. And I only need I like how I heard boxes, but why do I only need 1? And how do I know the others are going to always be 90? Ready? If that's 90, why is that one 90? Because those are what type? Come on. Vertical. And then these 2 have to be 90 because they're supplementary. See how this is working? We're talking to each other finally in geometry terms. Now how do I write it? Right? You guys know congruent. You know parallel. Now it's time for perpendicular. So write line AB. You know how to write that. Space, put a space in between, CD. Now how do I write the symbol perpendicular? Anybody know that one? Want to drop some knowledge? Plus sign. Oh boy. That's a plus sign. Plus sign is the plus sign there. Jacob, what do you think? Like this? That's a graph.
Turn it.
I like how we're playing Pictionary here.
Turn it 90
Odin?
degrees.
We got 2 tildes.
That's that's approximate.
Well, approximately.
Approximate.
The answer.
I don't know if we're getting close or not. Kira, this is painful.
If I remember right, it's a capital like T. But like a more massive.
Turn it upside down. Yes, capital T turned upside down. There you go. Yep.
Yeah, we would.
There's the symbol for perpendicular. Make sure we know that. There you go. There's a new symbol for you, perpendicular. So let's start using it so we don't have to write the word perpendicular. All right, any questions? Because that's all the new vocab I needed to go over. Now it's going to be practicing within your groups. All right, I'm only going to, you don't need too much time here. 1 through 6, I'll give you about 2 minutes in your group, and then we'll go over the answers together. Don't move on to number 7, though, please. Do not move on to number 7. 1 through 6. Notice the diagram, please, first, because I did put a little marking on there for you. Put a little symbol on there that helps you out. Just some basic finding an angle before we get into some more honors level here. Please notice the symbol I put at angle EBC. All right, let's roll here. If I put an answer up and you don't understand where it comes from, please ask. All right, please just don't erase it and put the right answer. Understand where it comes from. Don't be bashful to ask questions. All right, number one, EBF. What are we looking at there? EBF. Let's do this. Let's do this. Abigail, what do you got for me there?
51.
51 degrees. Good start. Good start, everybody. Number two, EBA. EBA. Oh, doubles, Abigail.
90.
90. That was a good one. Yeah. All right. The one right next to it, a 90. Any issues so far? How about three, DBE? DBE. Whoa, Theodore, what do you got there, boss? 17. Thank you. Don't sound so thrilled next time. All right, moving on. 19. Next one. Where are we going for that one? Oh, Kira, over to you.
117.
Buck, which one?
I got 117.
117. I have 10 degrees less. No?
Yeah.
107.
Yeah.
Okay, DBC. Let's take a look. DBC. So you had the 90, right? And you also have 17 degrees there for the last problem?
Yeah.
Okay, so I had 90 degree, and I was looking for this angle here. So I took my 90 degrees I already knew and added it to the 17 to get the full one.
Yeah, I just did the adding wrong.
All right, that's fine. No. So what do you got now? Redemption.
107.
107 looks good. Moving on. ABF now, number 5. Whoa, Gage. 141. And then finally, number 6. Finish this off strong for us. 6. Lucy. 68. Good work. Okay, we all good? Questions, comments, any concerns? Before I get to a little word problem now. All right, let's go to the word problems. Hopefully we can get to 7 and 8 before we leave. I got 2 angles complementary. Let's stop right there. What number am I thinking about? 90 degrees. Look, 90. I have 2 angles. I don't know what they are, but look, I at least know they add to 90. Makes sense so far. Now I need your help filling in my blanks. I know 2 angles add to 90. Help me fill in the blank. One of the angles 50 less than the other. Okay, one angle 50 less than the other. I don't know what your preference is. I always start by calling one of these angles a variable. All right, so the first angle I'm going to call x. I call it a variable. Based off that, here comes my second angle. 50 less than that one. So I got to understand how to write less than, right? 50 less than that first angle I just called x. So this will be x minus 50. Yes, 50 less than. Everyone all right with that? So I have 2 angles, x, and then the second one is 50 less than that one, x minus 50. All right, let's solve, see what we get. 2x minus 50 equals 40. Not 40, if I could do my math right? Equals 90 there. Add your 50 over, you get what there? Buck 40. Divide by 2, x equals. Make sure we read the problem though. It's asking for the larger angle. Will 70 be the larger angle?
Yes.
I hope so, right? Because if it adds up to 90, the other one's 20. So the larger angle, 70. Okay, 70. Did anybody do x and x plus 50? Where 2x would equal 40 and x would equal 20, but that's your smaller angle now instead. You could have done it that way. And then add 50 to it. We're all good? All right, this one's really going to probably knock your socks off here. All right, I got 2 angles that are supplementary. So now what am I thinking about? Buck 80. All right, so 180. I'm going to do the same thing I did for the complementary one. I got 2 angles I got to fill in, but now I know they equal 180. And here's some interesting directions that we got to get used to this year. Those 2 angles that add to 180 are in a ratio of 7 to 2. So first, what does it mean to be in these angles to be in a ratio of 7 to 2? Let me give you examples. What it could mean is one of the angles is 7 degrees and the other angle is 2. That's a ratio of 7 to 2, but that's ridiculous. Why? We know it has to equal 180. All right, so now I could check any multiple of 7 and 2. So let me multiply both of those by 2. Well, one angle could be 14 and the other could be 4. That's a ratio of 7 to 2, but does that make sense? No, those still don't add to 180. All right, let me try one more here times 3. 21 degrees and 6 degrees. I still have an issue, right? And I'll tell you what, I'm already getting tired of this. Guess and check. All right, I'm getting tired of it. I want to know quickly, what do I need to multiply 7 and 2 by so I get 2 angles that add to 180? All right, that's what I got to figure out here because I'm done doing this guess and check. It might take me forever. What if the number I need to multiply by is 105? That's going to take me forever to find that. So how can I use my equation now to figure out what do I need to multiply by 7 and 2 to get 2 angles that add up to 180? Thoughts here, Abigail?
You add the ratio, so you add 7 and 2, and then divide 180 by 9.
That's what we're going to do, yes. But to show that in an equation, which we will do, I'm going to put the 7 and 2. And remember what my problem was. What do I multiply by each? So guess what I'm going to attach to the 7 and 2?
X.
X's. And going forward all year, anytime I have anything in a ratio, attach X's before you write your equation. All right, now let's solve. 9x equals $1.80. Divide both sides by 9. X equals. Now don't get confused. I'm not saying 20 is one of my angle measurements. 20 is that number I was looking for. To what to multiply 7 and 2 by. All right, now substitute it back in to find the degree measure of each of them. So now I do 20 times 7. One of the angles will be 140. 20 times 2, the other angle?
40.
Now look, this is a pretty quick check if we did it right or wrong. You already know these 2 angles are supplementary. They add to? $1.80. Yeah, they do. Quick check. Make sure your angles add up to 180. All right, all good? I don't think we only have a couple minutes. I don't think, maybe you can go ahead. See, we can work right up to the bell. See if you can do number 9. Okay, see if you can do number 9 here. We'll work right up to the bell here today. Read the directions. You should be marking your diagram here, not just with 40 degrees either. See if we can fit this one in. We should have arc marks on 2 of the angles. And hopefully continue working. You get 40 and 100. No? What did?
You marked the wrong angle.
Did I mark the wrong
Correct
ones?
mark.
Son of a! One job. That fires me up. ABD and DBE. There we go. Got it. So EBC is 40. Those are both going to be 70. There we go, Mr. Carlino. ABD is 70. DBE also 70 because they're congruent to each other. Woo. How? What do all 3 angles have to add up to here? Because it forms ABC, a straight line, right? So I knew that had to equal to 180 divided by 2. Good work. All constructions tomorrow to finish off the Unit 1.